Yo, 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 yo. Sunshine chick. Peace, 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 peace. Am I coming through clear? Am I coming through clear? Can y'all hear me? Peace, peace, peace. Peace, love, and hair grease. Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure this mic is working like it's supposed to be working. If it ain't working like it's supposed to be working, we gonna have to reset this microphone. If this microphone is working like it's supposed to be working, let me know. Let me know something. Cause I'm trying this mic again to make sure it don't start crackling. Yo, yo. Okay, hold up. Switch this microphone again. I'm at Mac microphone. Alright, how does that sound? I'm sounding clear. Y'all let me know. Yo, can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yo. Alright. I think we got action now. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Alright. Yo. Alright. I think we got action now. Alright. Alright. So today we're gonna finish up the book read. As you can see, I had it sitting up here. Advita Makaranda, the nectar of non-duality. We get this non-duality shit popping. That's what we do. Let's see here. All these sittings I can't. Sick of trying to fuck with them. Gang. Pissing me off. Not really, but. Alright. So we're going to finish up this aspect. We're going to finish up this book. We got 3 verses. I think we got 3 verses left over. And y'all know what the next book read is. Be as you are. Where is it at? Give me a second. Been showing y'all. That's the next book read. It's the next book read that we're gonna get into. Be as you are by Ramana Maharishi. Sri Ramana Maharishi. Put some respect on his name. And what we have been doing this whole book read has been getting us up to date or up to speed on understanding the philosophy behind Advaita, non-dual Vedantic teachings. That has been getting us up to speed as far as a collective, if there ever was a real collective. But we've been getting everybody up to speed over here on this channel, and just really putting the pins where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? To get like a clear playing field of what the fuck we doing here, what the fuck we talking about here. Why we keep on talking about it's only one, it's always has been one, is ever only gonna be one, which is what your everyday reality displays anyway. So it's not far-fetched. It's just like we're not taught to be able to process information like that, and that fucks us up. If you ask me, that's what fucks us up from being able to get the realization. But it's also a necessary so-called blockage to be able to keep the matrix going, I guess. To be able to keep the illusionary reality going. Because if everybody gets it at the same damn time, what's the point? What's the purpose? If everybody breaks through the illusion of illusions, then what's the fucking purpose? What's the purpose, bro? What's the purpose? So as we continue in this game that we call life, y'all just join and please hit that like button. We finna hop into it in a minute, but y'all because then again that makes you start to question what the fuck is life and why the fuck is life, and that's typically what catapults the real so-called seekers to knowledge of self. Why the fuck is life? Then you figure out like why the fuck is life? Who the fuck am I? Once you get into the why, you try to figure out who the fuck am I. Now who the fuck are you is the only question that really fucking matters. Who are you turns you to the source that you've been looking for. Everything that you've been looking for is based off of who I am. How do you know that? Because anything that you like entertain or interact with in life, first off, it starts with the I. But nobody ever questions that I, because we think that I is the body, the mind, the body and our mind. And some would say, "Oh, I'm vibrations," or "I'm pure energy."
You wouldn't have no concept of that if it wasn't for the I first. There has to be an I first. You have to understand there has to be an I first before you can go on and say you a god or a goddess or you're pure energy or you're whatever the fuck. There has to be an I first, something that's recognizing this beingness, this pure beingness first. That has to exist first. Well, that has to illusionary exist. You know what I'm saying? First, before you can have any of those concepts. So why not automatically start with the who am I before we get to hop into a whole bunch of spiritual concepts? The concepts is what ultimately block us. We've had this conversation during the week on the live stream. We had this conversation on all the past live streams. But it needs to constantly be reiterated. Rosa Flame. Rosa motherfucking Flame. What's happening, brother? What's happening, Captain? So, you're not going to get through the illusion of who the fuck you think you are if you're not questioning who you are. And just because we get into spirituality don't mean what we get in a whole bunch of systems is pointing us directly to who. Well, no, it's not giving us who we are. All of them point you to that. But ultimately, you, even though whatever we reading over here, no matter what we talking about, ultimately, you, the fake you, ultimately is what has to be inquired upon. And what you're going to find out is, I'm not going to do the work for you, but you will find out something weird there. You're not going to get the answer that you think you have, that you think you, who you think you are. And if you are getting the answer, you are being bamboozled by nobody but the mind and the ego. If you inquire onto who this is or who I am, who is this who is this I, if you inquire onto that and you come back with an answer, the answer's fucking wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. The answer's fucking wrong. It's ultimately gonna be built up around some concepts of human existence. I put the whole human existence in. I don't care if you Eastern, Western, you from the fucking North Pole, South Pole, or you from Andromeda. All of those are fucking earthly concepts. Like I tell you, do you think water calls itself water? Do you think an ant calls itself an ant? Do you think the spoon calls itself a spoon? No. But because the spoon doesn't fucking exist. Alright, Rosa Flame. That's how I was last night on Trav Live. Out there getting it in. Getting it in. So, you know, that's where we end up at, right? We end up at the same question that you asked at the beginning of your spiritual journey. Who am I? Before you went to that spiritual journey, you didn't know. At least the people I spoke with didn't know. I didn't know we were lost. We didn't know who the fuck we were. So that was the point that catapulted us into all this spirituality to try to figure out who we were. And what we end up coming into was become, I'm an atheist. I'm a goddamn, I'm a E5. I'm a whatever. I'm Apollo. I'm a motherfucking dark sider. I'm a left hand path. I'm a middle path. I'm a love and light. I'm a mystic. I'm a whatever the fuck. And we attach ourselves to these concepts. Here's the thing you gotta think about. And this is gonna be done from a body mind complex using just the human logical mind. If I was the all and end all be all and I was the source or whatever the fuck you want to call it, why would I create one doorway or one path for me to be able to come back home, as in returning to the source? If I'm going to create this mass illusionary maze map called material existence or phenomenal existence, why would I create one fucking path? Remember what aspect we talking from just a human level of understanding. Why would I create one fucking path? Why would I limit myself to being able only to get home through the goddamn window? Why would I not have a front door and a back door? Fuck it. Why would I not just have multiple doors that lead me back to me? If you just joined, please hit that like button. Why? Why would I do that? There's always been multiple ways and multiple paths. Some take more time. Some are direct. Some people want to walk all the way around the house to get to the front door when they were already at the back door. Because that's what we're doing. That's what we're saying here. Ultimately, we're looking for something that is what we already are. We don't know that we already are it. So we think we have to go through all these systems and all these levels and all these goddamn concepts to get through the fucking front door. But we're standing at the back door. The front door and the back door lead us to the same thing. Ultimately, it's the same goddamn thing. That's all any spiritual system is. Neither one of them is the actual thing itself. It's you. It's you. And that's what we're trying to get understood here. Asadia, peace, peace, peace. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know? So that's what we've been studying here. That's what we've been tapping into here. So we're going to go on and get into the 25th verse to the 28th verse. And we're going to end this motherfucking book right here. Because I'm ready to get into this. Ready to get in this. That is our next venture. Be As You Are by Ramana Maharishi. Remember, if you're just joining, hit the like button. Hit the like button. So, we got the book lifted. Let's see. I'm going to have to make this smaller so I can see the chat too. Oh shit, I never went live on. What's her name? On IG, it's just not going live on IG. Rafe636, my brother, what's happening, Captain? You know, we doing it the best way we do it. We're doing it the best way we do it, and that's to do it with the self. Spiritual masturbation. The self is filling the self.
All that bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
Hold up, y'all. I done hit a button I wasn't supposed to hit.
All that bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
We finna hop in the last three verses, y'all. And that obviously is this here. The Advaita Makaranda. Alright. Much love, Ray. So, let's finish this off. Verse 25. A single thing can certainly never have multiple essential natures. A single thing can, a single thing can certainly never have multiple essential natures. Therefore, forsaking the distinctions pertaining to the world, I am indeed indivisible. So let's break that down. A unitary thing, a single substance, can have only one essential nature. Only a composite can have internally different essential natures for the different components. You get what he's saying here. So, if the source can only have one essential nature, gold can only be gold. But other things compounded by gold, and let's see, you get into those 24 karat golds and all of that shit, or 17 karat gold, it's a compound. By the time you get to a compound or a composite, they can have different components to them, so they're not unity. They're not one, right? The same thing that we understand about the human body. Why does it break down? Why does the mind break down? Why does everything break down? Because it's a composite. It's a complexity of multiple things. Anything that has a complexity of multiple things, just like a fucking human being and a identity, ultimately it has to break down. It just has to. And what would be left when you see things that break down? Like you play around in physical science and fuck around with chemicals and raw materials, what would be left is the principal material will be left over. This is basically what he's saying. That principal material would be what is actually left over. A complex curry can have various tastes: sweet, sour, bitter, and salty, all in the same dish. But that's because it's made of different substances. See what I'm saying? Because it's curry, let's just say because it's hot sauce or because it's whatever, hot wings, you can have different degrees, different variations of hot wings. The same thing. Although it's the same thing, still wings and it's still hot wings, yeah. But you got extreme hot wings, then you got medium, then you got mid, and then you got low. You know what I'm saying? You got all that. You got all those different variations, right? But pure salt is just salty. You see? Let's go back over there what they went to. A curry can have various tastes: sweet, sour, bitter, and salty, all in the same dish. But that's because it's made of different substances. It's made of different substances. But pure salt, right? Pure salt is just salty by nature. Pure white sugar is just sweet. In the previous 3 verses, we saw that we are existence, knowledge, and joy. Not that we have existence, knowledge, and joy as attributes of our being. Not like that. But these 3 seem to be different from one another. Right? Do we then have a triune nature? Do we have a 3-parted nature? Is that what the case is? No. Because as this verse explains, a single thing cannot have multiple essential natures. And I experience my existential being as unitary. Y'all in the chat? Am I freezing up? Y'all let me know, am I freezing up, y'all? I feel like it just glitched. Somebody let me know what's going on. Hope I ain't out here freezing up. Somebody in the chat, let me know. Am I freezing up? Oh, okay, we good. Okay. So as we talk about existence, consciousness, bliss, right? As we talk about those things, they're spoken of. This is what I'm saying. Anytime we're using words ultimately can't describe the true nature of what we're talking about. That's why I always say, remember the word silence. Silence ultimately can't describe fucking silence, which means no sound, right? But how the fuck do you know what silence sounds like? How do you know if you're in silence? Words ultimately, no matter what system, including the non-dual, advita, pure consciousness, all of that shit, these words are pointing you somewhere. But you have to have the self-realization. That's what it is. For some people, it takes time to work on. Great. Fucking whoop-de-doo. If it takes time to work on it, there's no fucking rush. Some people get it instantly. Great. So the fuck what? Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Don't get caught up in processes and levels and all of that type shit. Because you're going to miss the point. Because you live in a world of America where we think, I need to achieve this next level. And the Western world has done that onto every society, except for them black folks with them long ass goddamn spears out there on that fucking island that ain't let nobody pull up. They whacking them. They probably ain't thinking about no goddamn levels and hurry up and achieve this and hurry up and achieve that type shit. And that's what they would call what? Savages. They don't have any etiquette and proper whatever and trying to move up the ladder of society. Like, yeah, this ain't that. This ain't that over here. Alright? This is not that. Alright? No questions. Okay. Then, what about existence, knowledge, and bliss? They are the same reality. Existence is consciousness, which is bliss, which is, again, existence. They are the same non-dual reality divided by the mind into aspects. Hold up. We gotta highlight that. I'm gonna just underline this whole thing because that's what we need to catch on to. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Existence and consciousness and bliss are all one thing. They are the same non-dual reality divided by the mind. The mind is the one that devises, right or wrong. Who's doing the dividing here? Who's doing the dividing? The mind is doing the dividing. The ego is doing the dividing, right or wrong. Is that not what the ego does? It sets limitations. If you set limitations, you're automatically dividing. If you're dividing, you're creating something. And that's creation, right? That's the same way creation is explained. Maybe it's not explained and I explain it like that. When you start building, to build things, you have to separate things. So if the world is so-called built, or manifestation reality is so-called built, what does that say? If we saying the mind is doing the same thing, we're going to say creation, the mind is the creation. Creation is the mind that separates and builds. Divided by the mind into aspects or qualities, but deferring one from another and from the essential self. Hold up. They are the same non-dual reality divided by the mind into aspects or qualities, but differing one from another and from the essential self only in the mind and speech. It's the only place it's happening at. In the mind and through speech. Alright. Therefore, now let's break down this second part of the verse. Therefore, forsaking the distinctions pertaining to the world, I am indeed indivisible. I am the unseparable. There's no separation in me. There's no separation in the self. There's no separation in consciousness. I experience my psychophysical self as a non-unitary. Right? So let's get to it. Break it down. Sometimes I'm happy. Hold up. Damn. Okay, there you go. Sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes clear-minded. Sometimes clouded. Partly physical, partly mental, partly emotional, partly vital. Is that not how we all experience or appear to experience ourselves, right? Okay, Ray. So you're flowing, bro. Okay. Well, is that not how we experience ourselves, or how we seem to experience ourselves? We seem to experience ourselves in various aspects and various qualities. That's not true. That's what we're observing. We're observing plenty aspects and different qualities, but we are not that. We are the one that's observing that. This is not some made up malarkey, niggas. We see this every day. Elisha, what's happening? What's happening? tonight, Elisha, and I just see that you I ain't even know you was following me on IG. But yeah, I went on and followed you back. Go back to the koshers and the sheets. Facts. Because ultimately, all these koshers and sheets are fucking illusions. They come out of the mind. Remember we went through that in a Dark Veil Lifted video, right? We broke down all the koshers and the sheets. They projected from Maya. Maya, mind, same thing. Mula Prakriti, same shit. The pure observer. The pure observer. That's it. For sure, Elisha. Gotcha. So we experience ourselves as sometimes happy, sometimes sad, some mind clear, sometimes cloudy, partly physical, partly mental, partly emotional, and partly vital. And my experiences is divided between me and the world. So look at all those divisions that we got. You gonna tell me something ain't wrong with humans? Why humans fucked up? You know, I'm down here in Dallas, man, and last week I think there was a man who actually cut off a motherfucker's head. And they caught, listen, people watched it live in the middle of the street of the motel. They say I don't know how true none of this is, but the fact that he got his head cut off, there's a lot of, it didn't make national news, I don't know how. Some Cuban guy ended up chopping the head off of a motel owner because the motel owner told him he couldn't wash his clothes. What reason, why, who the fuck knows? But the guy went to ran into his room, pull out his machete, chased him down in the parking lot, hit him about 50 times with the machete, and then took his head off, kicked his head down a goddamn street, and threw it in the trash. Why everybody's out there watching? People out there recording, doing all of that shit, and watching that shit. He didn't care. He wasn't trying to stop them. He wasn't trying to hide. You know what I'm saying? The nigga wasn't trying to hide. Cuban dude wasn't trying to hide. He didn't give a fuck about getting caught. So he did. The Cuban dude had his family there too, and he did it in front of his family wife. I ain't watched the video, but I heard the audio, and she just screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm just saying, human beings so partially divided up so much, bro. Motherfuckers be goddamn having so many personalities inside of their goddamn head. So many, and probably believe that they are each and every last one of them. Technically, they are. Technically, they are. And it's just the way that the mind is working around this motherfucker. But, like, that shit didn't make national news. That kind of was like, okay. The whole Charlie thing did about Charlie. But here's a man cutting off the head of an owner of a guy in front of everybody on camera. People like, damn, he just kicked the head. Damn. Like, I'm like, nobody was trying to stop this nigga. Ain't nobody want to pop one in his ass. Fuck out. Sit him down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Let the police do the rest. No, you would have been a fucking hero probably. You know, who the fuck knows, man. But hey, motherfuckers sit there and watch your ass get slaughtered. What's happening? Coop. Hey, Coop, I seen the Rays of Consciousness too. The what's the name about Sri Maharaj? Bro, that shit fire, bro. That shit fire, bro. I watched the whole thing, bro. I watched the whole thing, Coop. I watched the whole thing. When they say, probably had the spiritual rank to get away with that shit. And guess what? He killed the Indian dude. Now, and I'm saying that because what I heard about that Kali Yuga is dark as shit. Like, think about Kali. What if the guy was a Kali worshiper? You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, I ain't trying to justify shit. This is the Matrix, and everything that can happen in this motherfucker will happen. Could have been a straight Kali sacrifice. Could have been a straight Kali sacrifice. And the Cubans could have been fucking with Santis and Santa Muerte. And the same energies. If we want to take it to that route, right? That's wild, but that's the way of the world today. Exactly why I stay from the foolishness, but definitely aware of facts. Reminds me of the movie Split, that type shit. That's in the movie Elisha, perfect example. That's the type of reality that we all actually fucking living in. You know what I'm saying? You may be a man and thinking you the most, you know what I'm saying, the handsome and the most coolest and the most standing on manly principles as motherfuckers. Then there's somebody else who thinks you something else. Or then one minute you think you this, and then one minute you think you that, and you think you a real nigga, and you think you a rich nigga, and you think you the highest spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got that type of shit going on. And that's what Viveka understands. Viveka means to discern through all of that falsity of your fucking reality. Hold up, y'all. To stand beyond Lil B. Lil B said, oh, that's my dog, Lil B. Love you, bro. Love you, bro. Call me on IG. But yo, that falsity right there is what you want to be discerning through. And you have to get to that point within yourself, bro. You got to get to that point within yourself. You want to keep building up concepts of yourself and trying to stabilize yourself in them motherfuckers, and ultimately they're going to keep breaking. You're going to keep... Y'all get it, man. Been following the Vedic astrology lately. September is going to be chaotic. Okay, say less. Good heads up then. Let's see how this movie plays out during the month of September. Yeah, raise the absolute cool. That's it. Yeah, that shit fire, bro. I watched that shit all the way to the end. I think I probably got like 5 minutes left, but I watched that shit all the way to the end. I don't know why the white dude in there just don't cut his hair off and go bald, bro. I know you seen it cool. I'm like, what is this nigga doing, man? Just go bald, bro. You got 12 strings of hair on your damn head. Go fucking bald, bro. Like, bald is in. I'm not in this world. He said, I'm in this world, but definitely not of it. Facts. Split is definitely one of those movies that are a sign of those times. Facts, bro. Facts. Alright, y'all. Let's get back to it. But we finna finish this bitch off today. And y'all remember, this is our next book read. Y'all have had ample amount of time to get it. Ample amount of time to get it. It's very affordable. Very affordable. Because now we're about to get into using this shit in daily life, which I already talk about. But let's go on here from the teachings of Sri Ramana Maharishi. You know what I'm saying? Let's go on from his path. Let's see what he has to say. And what his disciples have agreed to let David Gottman write down, which would be the holistic perspective of what he would have to say about daily life living like this, which we already talk about on here. So, but it's going to be a powerful and great read. I have not read all of this book, so a lot of it would be my first time reading right here with all of y'all. Let's go. So, in my experience is divided between me and the world. But that is only because I identify with the body and the mind. So you don't have to ask a question, oh, do I identify with the body and mind? If you say that you go through all of these states. If you agree that you go through all of these states, then you understand. If you say the mind is going through all of these states, then you understand that you're not the body and the mind. But you got to have that strong conviction. And that's personal. It's not nothing to get on here and say, oh yeah, that's me right there. I don't identify with the... It's none of that type shit. This is the inner reality. Shit. When you get a chance, show that book again. I'm adding to my Amazon cart right now. Put that up there for you, Rafe. And if Amazon don't have it, I'm not sure. If they don't have it, go to eBay. But that's the next book read right there. Y'all should screenshot it. Mothra! What's happening? Standing on P, Captain. That's what we doing. What's happening? What's happening? We're glad to have you here. If you just joined and hit the motherfucking like button, dog. Hit the motherfucking like button, dog. Hit the motherfucking like button, dog. It be amazing me sometimes how some people show up on my live stream and they nowhere near interested into this shit on Instagram. And I know they see the title. But they probably don't. They probably just see No Way Pop is live. But it is what it is. Hold up. But I be hoping they can sprinkle a little bit of something on there for them. A little razzle dazzle. Alright, you got it right for bit. Okay. So as I begin to identify with consciousness, I realize more and more that I am unitary by nature, of one essential essence, which is indivisible. Satchitananda. I am. Eternally I shine. Never am I not beloved. This, the second verse, refers to my individual, my indivisible, non-duality nature, my existence in the shining which is love itself. It is love itself. It's love itself. Pure, raw, undifferentiated, unconditional love is what you are. That is your true nature. And thus we come to the final teaching, summed up in the Vakya or the Mahavakya, or the great sayings, right, of the Upanishads. What is that? What is that? Tat tamasi. Tat tamasi. I am that thou art. Which we are not able to understand deeply and intuitively through the grace of our author of this text. So at this point, what they're saying, if you have been here for all the book studies, you should understand this. You should have at least an intellectual understanding of I am that. I am Brahman. That I am. That thou art. You should have an understanding that you are consciousness, knowledge, bliss. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Existence, consciousness, joy. Existence, consciousness, love. You should know intellectually. Repeatedly showing up here to this YouTube channel, at least for the past 6, 7, or 8 months, you should at least have that down pat intellectually. So, next verse, 26. I am great, of one essence, pure, the pure one, implied by the scriptural statement that thou art, by eliminating the conditioning factors of remoteness and limitation. Right? So we're eliminating limitation. You hear that? We're taking away limitation. We're eliminating limitation. What is that? That is nati. I'm sure that's what they're going to get into, is something of that aspect. Not this, not this. Not this, not this. The first steps, negation. I am none of this. Then you'll get to, I am all of this. But first you have to understand that you are none of this. But ultimately, you are all of this. All of reality. So I am that man who got his head chopped off. I'm that man who chopped the head off. I'm the woman that sat there and screamed. I'm the man that recorded it. I'm the police officer that did the arresting. Let's go. I am great, of one essence, the pure one. The meaning by now should be clear. Implied in this scriptural statement, twat tamasi, or tat tamasi, thou that thou art. Tat tamasi is a upaseda, I can't say that. Upaseda Mahavakya, the great sentence, right? Or the instructional Mahavakya of the Vedas. And hold up. And as such, it is the most famous and the most important. Tat Tamasi is the most famous and most important. The teacher tells the disciple, Tat Tamasi, that thou art. And this disciple realizes, Aham Brahmasi, I am Brahman, right? Aham Brahmasi, I am Brahman, which is the Anubhuti, Anubhuti, fuck that, I'm sorry, I don't know. Mahavakya, the Mahavakya of direct experience. So you were told, first you were told that thou art, right? And then you realize, I am Brahman, or Aham Brahmasi, right? And that's the direct experience. After that, you have had the direct experience. So, by eliminating the conditioning factors of remoteness and limitations in the Mahavakya that thou art, the thou refers to the individual person, right? You hearing this? The thou is referring to the individual person, and the that is the infinite reality which manifests as the universe. All right? How can you, the small, limited individual being, be one with the cosmic reality? Not part of it, but identical with it. There's an obvious contradiction to this equation. So let's see what it is. The contradiction is overcome by a dual process, by seeing beyond the apparent limitations of you. Is that not occultism? What do we talk about? Occultism is seeing the hidden within the apparent, seeing the hidden behind the apparent. Having viveka, or viveka, or viveka, which means what? Which means what? Discernment. The individual, and by seeing beyond the apparent remoteness of the infinite reality of the cosmos. Hold up. The contradiction is overcome by a dual process, seeing beyond the apparent limitations of you, the individual, and by seeing beyond the apparent remoteness of the individual reality of the cosmos. Let's expand the 2 points first. You, the apparent individual, are really consciousness itself, while your limitations are products of your identification with a particular body-mind complex. Do you hear that? The apparent individual, are really consciousness itself, while your limitations, what are they? They are products of your identification with a particular body-mind complex. Think about anything that you identify with. The mic going out? Oh, shit. The mic sound now? How does the mic sound now, y'all? Y'all let me know how the mic sound. I switched the mic to my phone. It's good now? Okay. I stick to it like this then. Keep the mic right here next to me. Damn, I could have sworn I just seen Sunshine Chick say good now. Hold up. Alright, somebody else let me know how it sound. So it's crackling? Well, it's what good. Now it's staticky. Fuck. Yo. How do we sound now? What about now, y'all? How do we sound now? while we rocking out. How we sound, how we sound, how we sound, how we sound now.
All that old bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
Alright, how we sounding now, y'all? Let me know how we sounding. You ain't missing no Rafe. They said I was cracking up. Okay, so we sound good now. Alright. Let's get back to it. Forgot where I was at. So it says, let's expand the first point. Your apparent individual, you, the apparent individual, are really consciousness itself. While your limitations are products of your identification with a particular body-mind complex. If you can identify with consciousness itself, you see. So it's still, hold up. So I'm still Am I still breaking up? Coop said it sound like I need a new mic. And the thing is, Coop, it ain't even a mic. So this whole time, it ain't been a mic. I just switched it to my phone. Now I'm back using the computer. This is a brand new computer. So it ain't even a mic, bro. That's what's pissing me off. I actually think it's the platform. But it was doing the same thing on StreamYard. So maybe it's when I try to I ain't take that shit personal though, Coop, but it's pissing me off though for real that it keep doing it. Cause what was it? Cause I switched over to this platform and started using this one because I think it was gonna be better. And the shit doing the same thing. So I'm wondering if it's because I'm streaming to multiple platforms. Wonder is it because I'm streaming to multiple platforms. Let me end. What's the name? Discord. I wonder if it just does that when I stream to multiple platforms. So, let's see. If I disconnect the other platform. Damn. I don't think. Hold up. Hold up. See, now I'm fucking up. Alright. Yeah, and I know them comments come later than the motherfucker. That should be get my ass. So. Okay. That ain't gonna work. Alright. I was trying to turn off the cause I ended the what's the name live stream, the Instagram live stream. But it is what it is, gang. No, I don't want to reconnect it. I'm gonna leave it where it's at. Alright. Yeah, and that's what sucks, cause the what's the name come delayed than a motherfucker. Alright, but let's go. Y'all say we good now. Okay. So, if you can identify with consciousness itself, you see that the universe arises within you. And second, the reality out of which the universe manifests is not remote. It's not distant from the individual. It's not remote, distant from the individual. But it is the consciousness itself in which the universe arises. Seeing this, we also realize that consciousness is one, non-dual by nature. Underline. Thus, through eliminating the apparent limitations of the individual and the apparent remoteness of the cosmic reality, we see that the equation between the individual and the cosmic Tatwamasi is true. That leads in the end to the experience Aham Brahmasi. The author now states the noble fruit of the teaching. So now we're going to get the actual fruit of the teaching. All right? But as we know, there could not be a universe without awareness, without consciousness. I wonder if people understand it. Like, there could be no universe, there could be no nothing without awareness. You would have to be aware of it. It would have to arise in awareness for it to have any form of existence. That's why they call everything borrowed existence. Everything borrows existence from you, pure consciousness, awareness. It lives off a borrowed existence. That's why those things are not forever. But you, pure awareness, is forever. Hopefully that was clear. If not, drop some of them questions in the chat. So now, let's get to the fruit. Right? 27. I am by my very nature perfect, without beginning or end. I am complete, great, and freed from the error of the world. Individual, disciple, preceptor, and God. So, let's break that down. What does it start at? Nothing exists without it. Nothing exists without it, Rafe. Nothing exists without it. And when you identify with that, then what limitations can you have? Then you start perceiving the world from that perspective. Is my phone on vibrate? It's not. But, okay. You start seeing things. I'll check that out later. You start seeing things from a whole different perspective. Matter of fact, the only perspective to be seen from, right? So let's see where it says. I am by my very nature perfect, without beginning or end, complete, great. Swami Vivekananda said that he did not teach humility, and yet people who knew him spoke of his unself-conscious humility. On the other hand, we see many instances where his behavior would not be characterized as humble. His commanding presence, his regal dignity, his uncompromising attitude on what he saw as principles, his sense of mission and importance to the world, and his statements such as, I am the proudest man alive. How do we reconcile these different strands of his being? Let's see. The Swami was the embodiment of the verse. What's that verse? I am by the very nature perfect, without beginning or end, complete, great, and free. And thus, he was not humble in the ordinary sense. He stood on the glory of the self, the glory of himself. He knew himself to be the infinite. He knew that the universe existed within him. He knew himself to be free, deathless, and fearless. Before whom should I bow? And though in whose presence should I cower? This is how we supposed to be moving around this bitch. Alright? He knew himself to be infinite. He knew the universe existed within him. He knew himself to be free, deathless, fearless. Before whom shall I bow? In the present, in whose presence shall I cower? Whose presence? Your parents? Your cousins? The evil man who just chopped off the head? Or the good man who just chopped off the head? Who? In whose presence should you cower in? If all these are that, and that is you, and thou art that, whose presence? And yet there was also the facts, and the blah 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 blah. And yet there were also the fact of his apparent humility. If humility means thinking oneself lower than others, less than others, then he had none of it. then he had none of that. But what he was utter simplicity, and utter transparency, and utter selfishness, combined with the full awareness of equal divinity in everyone. That's the type of spiritual motherfucker who I would fuck with. It's not thinking of yourself as less than somebody else. Oh, he's higher and more mightier than me. None of that. None of that. He was utterly simple, as he had no need to project his personality. No need to protect it. No need to mask it or sell it, because he knew himself to be the impersonal self, beyond the body and mind, beyond the complex, beyond the complex, which we call human personality. He was utterly transparent. Therefore, because of his very selfishness, for his very selfishness, and he had the deepest respect for the divinity of each soul. He saw that what he was, For he saw that what he was in his ultimate nature is what everyone is. When he looked within, he saw the self. When he looked without, he saw the same self taking on so many forms, and all was his and theirs. How could somebody be on a higher level than you? How could I look at anybody here and project that I know more? Or that I'm more superior because I seemingly know more? Yes, I agree. A lot of people are fucking idiots. I disagree. A lot of people are motherfucking idiots. Motherfucker. That's just the game. There gotta be some idiots. But that's you that's an idiot. You see them as an idiot, that's you, the self, projecting yourself as an idiot in a different shape, form, and motherfucking fashion. Do you get it? Do you get it? So even in your ignorance, you still divine. This is what I'm saying. How could you have a strong conviction that you are somehow, some way, some shape, form superior over others if you have this understanding? At least intellectually. That little ego's a stinky little fucker. It's a stinky little tricker at times. Facts. Real shit. It's tricky, bro. That's why I'm like, I'll be telling y'all, like, you gotta catch that motherfucker, bro, because it'll try to claim, like, ooh, I'm so advanced, or I'm so much. It'll try to do that. It'll try to do that. You gotta catch it. And that's why, and you'll catch me at times like, well, the mind separating it from me, the self. I'll say, well, the mind, or this mind-body complex, I get to talking like that because you got to separate them. That's how you nullify the fucking ego. Facts, Elisha. Facts. Set will always trying to change the mindset. So we move away from that. Let's see. Where it says strongly agree, or the flame. The uncontrolled ego is the whole problem. And this is how we get that bitch in alignment. We use proper discernment to see the falsities within our so-called self, the little self, the mind. We see the falsality inside of that, or the falsity inside of that. You don't have to go out and start pointing out how everybody else is false. Start here. Shit, excuse me. You start there. That's where we go. In your relationships, I'm talking about relationship with friends, relationship with co-workers, relationships with boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever you into, whatever, parents, siblings, check yourself first, man. Especially after getting this type of knowledge. What are you doing? Playing around with it? Using this information and getting goddamn a database overload? You turn into a fucking data processor center? Where they create now a whole bunch of data centers and shit? Super data centers and shit? That's what you becoming? Just a big cold box of fucking data? Apply this shit, man. I'm not talking to nobody specifically in the chat, but I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking to somebody, gang. I'm talking to somebody, and somebody knows who I'm talking to. And it's trying to like, I hope he don't see me. Apply this shit on a daily basis. I'm applying this shit on a daily basis. It needs to be applied on a daily basis. Watching you motherfuckers. Alright. What need then for the practical humility? Where was the possibility of thinking himself lower than others? His was not practiced. What? I guess it's trying to say his humility was not practiced, nor comparison of self-worth of others, but pure selfishness. And in that sense, yes, he was the embodiment of transcendent humility. Let's see what Rafe said. Learning this knowledge just to cloud chase. It's crazy business. Definitely gotta apply this daily. And you know the same shit Phantom was saying. You ain't playing around with this shit, man. Some people show up for entertainment, and I get it. Let them be entertained. Let them be motherfucking entertained. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. We go to jail and get life. You reincarnate around this motherfucker and have to do another life sentence. Whoop-de-doo. At least you'll come back, and some of this shit will attract you to it, and you'll be able to go further than what you did in a so-called past life, right? Free from the era of world, individual, disciple, preceptor, and God. So let's break that down. 9. When one realizes the self, then the self in the world, disciple and preceptor, soul and God is one's own individuality. In the individualities of all beings, all merge into one infinite being, free of all distinctions, which is why it is called Ik Rasam, or I don't know how to pronounce it, Ika Rasam, or of essence. In the previous verse, the self alone is. Listen, the self alone is. Brahman alone is. There is no world. There is no universe. There is no Maya. There is no bondage. There is no freedom. Self alone is. Consciousness alone is. It's pure isness. The self alone is, which therefore can no longer be called the self, nor does I remain. We use the term self to distinguish from the not self. The sense of I is contrasted with the not I. Do you hear that? We use the term self only to distinguish from the not self. So here's the thing with the language. We're giving it a name, we're giving it Brahman, or we're giving it consciousness to distinguish it from what it's not. But ultimately what you're going to find out is every word that we ever could use to describe what we are ultimately is not what we are. Because it can't be described. It can't be given a name. It's prior to name. It's prior to mind. It's prior to mind. It's prior to prana, the breath. That is the fuel for the mind to have thoughts. Vital energy is prior to that. It cannot be described by words. But we're using words to point you to. Point you. Point you. Not deliver you. Point you. I've been delivered. Delivered. No did it.
All that other bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul. You get this shit? God does not act like a fucking human.
Nigga. Stop thinking like a motherfucking human. Alright. We use the term self to distinct. Hold up. We're going to read that whole thing again. The self alone is, which therefore can no longer be called the self, nor does I remain. The I doesn't remain. We use the term self to distinguish from the not self. Right? We use the term self to distinguish from the not self. The sense of I is constructed with the not I. Reality is used to negate unreality. I'm not this, I'm not this. In 1880. Right? But all drops away into utter silence. Beyond the speech and mind. What we just said. Beyond the speech and mind. Where there is nothing but non-dual reality in the highest state. Beyond the words. Beyond the concepts. Beyond the subtlest mentation. You are beyond all concepts. Whatever concept that you have ever heard of, you are not that. You are not that. Whatever concept you ever heard of, gang, that's not who you are. That's not what you are. You're beyond that. Even the subtlest mentation, whatever subtle realities that exist, astral plane, causal plane, whatever game, whatever plane, you beyond all of that. And yet, it is important to realize that we refer to the reality as the self for a good reason. And yet, it is important to realize that we refer to reality as the self for a good reason. I'm going to read that again. And yet, it is important to realize that we refer to reality as the self for a good reason. Yes, it is for the sake of sadhana. But the term is used not just for pragmatic reasons, but because it is that which is intended. It is that which is intended import of self. The real meaning of self. That which is that. Hold up. We're going to read that again. Hold on. God damn it. Let's do it again. Yes. Let's read it from the top. And yet it is important to realize that we refer to reality as the self for a good reason. Yes, it is for that. Yes, it is for the sake of sadhana, but the term is used not just for pragmatic reasons, but because it is that which is the intended import of self, the real meaning of self, that which is pointed to, right? So that which is pointed to by the word self. It's not the self as the self is a thing, as some fucking object, but it's pointing to by the word self. Damn. What up? That which is pointed to by the word self, that which manifests as the I. It manifests as the I. In other words, the reality is not the word or concept self, but it is the God damn. It is the experiential yet transcendent import of the concept, and I am that. Do y'all get that? Should I read that again? Y'all let me know. Should I read that again? Peace, Rose of Flame. Peace, my guy. Peace, man. I feel like I should read that again. Because we need to understand that it's actually not what we're calling it as the self. It's not that. It's not that. It's just not that. But it's pointing to something. And this is the last verse. We're literally done. Right here at the end of this page. We're literally done. We're literally finished with this book. Alright, Coop TGS. Alright, bet. Non-dualism. 101. Whatever we're describing to you. So whatever you have ever heard spiritually, none of that shit is what you are. Don't that sound like a fucking paradox? What the fuck are we doing then? You're getting pointed to it. You're getting pointed to it. Let me highlight this and make this shit red. Matter of fact, let me highlight that in my book. Give me a second, y'all. I need to highlight this in the book. What? And yet, okay. It says, and yet, it is important to realize that we refer to reality as the self for a good reason. Yes, it is for the sake of sadhana, but the term is used not for the pragmatic reasons, but because it is that which is intended, is the intended import of self. The real meaning of self, which is pointed to by the word self. That which manifests as the I. In other words, the reality is not the word. In other words, the reality is not the word or the concept self, but it is the experiential yet transcendent import of the concept. And I am that. I am that which no words can describe. So that's what I said when you ask, who am I? If you come back with a word and a concept and an answer, you don't have the right answer. You've got it wrong. You've lost it, buddy. Whoop-de-doo. You've lost it.
All that old bullshit ain't got shit to do with the goddamn soul.
Nothing to do with the soul. Nothing to do with it. There should not be an answer. And that's up for you to keep it real with your goddamn self. That's up for your mind to keep it real with the mind. That's up for the mind to keep it real with the mind. And it's personal. Even though we are impersonal. Isn't it crazy how much of a paradox it is that we have to use concepts to describe that we're not concepts? That's the nature of this shit. Come on, man. That's what I said. That's what we talking about right there, Coop. I don't know who I am. I don't know. There's no knowing. What I am is prior to knowing. If we want to get on some real shit, I'm prior to knowing. Whatever the fuck I am is before knowing. So let's go. Hey, now, fact, Elisha. Facts. Elisha says even crazier to know that and live in this day and age. That's what I'm saying. We over here in the West, bro, you don't understand like how profound this is. That however many y'all are, you know what I'm saying, how we tapping into this type of shit, and we all got, I know all of us at least working, got a job, got a business, got some kids, got something, and still moving through life with this shit. So-called life with this shit. And what Elisha just say, divine madness. You, every last one of them will be divinely mad. And that's why we see this shit as a play. See this shit as a movie. See this shit as a dream. Or everybody else is taking it oh so motherfucking serious. Oh so serious. Because they trying to fit themselves into these little motherfucking concepts that are false. One concept don't work, they hop to the next concept. That concept don't work, they hop to the next. It's just like a relationship. Motherfuckers doing the same. Listen, I used to always say this. Show me your relationship with God, and I know. Show me your relationships, and I know your relationship with God. You flippity floppity. You flippity flippity floppity floppity woppity. You flippity floppity. The same relationship people will have with whatever they call God is the same relationship that they have with their partners. You flippity floppity because you keep trying to put yourself in concepts. And you try to put the other person into concepts. And when they don't do whatever they need to do within these concepts, I think I need to go somewhere else. I need something new. Because you ain't, man, come on, man. Yo, Trav, what's happening, Captain? Hey, Trav, I'm using Streamlabs now. I like Streamlabs. And versus what's the other one? StreamYard. I think StreamYard's still decent. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I like Streamlabs. Got a lot more features in this motherfucker. Got a lot more features. But peace to you, my guy. That live stream last night was some fire shit, especially verse 21. Verse 21 from last night live stream was fucking fire. Fucking fire, bro. But Trav came in at the last point. God damn it, man. But let's read the last one again. I want to read that last verse again. It's very important, all right? And yet, it is important to realize that we refer to reality as the self for a good reason. Yes, it is for the sake of sadhana, but the term is used not just for pragmatic reasons. So we're not talking about knowledge of self for fucking pragmatic reasons. We're not talking about I am the self for pragmatic reasons, but because it is that which is intended. It is that which is intended import of self. The real meaning of the self. That which is pointed to. It's pointing to something. It's only a fucking billboard. The self is a fucking billboard. It's a representative. You know how when you call and get T-Mobile on the phone, you can't speak to fucking Think about that. Can you pick up a T-Mobile? Can you pick up a big bag of fucking T-Mobile? No, you can't. Can you get in touch with T-Mobile itself? Actual, pure, unconditioned T-Mobile? No, the fuck you can't. You can't. But you can get in touch with a representative. You can be directed to a representative. It's the same thing with the self. A representative here. It's a representative here. By the word self, that which manifests as I. It manifests as the I. This is why we keep saying, do the inquiry of who am I? If you come back with an answer, you don't got the right motherfucking answer. In other words, the reality is not the word or concept. The reality is not the word or concept. It's not the word or the concept, the self, but it is an experiential yet transcendent import of the concept. And I am that. I am that. That is who I am, the self. What Trav said, if you come back with the answer, you don't got the right answer. You don't got the answer. It's a very... Hey, no, it is, bro. I be sitting here laughing at myself because it's like, bro, this shit is so fucking funny, bro. It's actually fucking hilarious, bro. It's actually fucking hilarious, bro. And it's like, when you apply proper discernment, it's like, bro, look at all this. Look at this. Look at us fucking humans running around here think we know some shit. I know nothing. I don't know myself. I don't know Brahman. He who knows Brahman knows. He who says he knows Brahman knows Brahman not. He who says he does not know Brahman knows motherfucking Brahman. The paradox is all the way up, bro. The paradox is filled up to the brim around this motherfucker. He said, that's what a Tao Chin always blows my mind. Does a dog have Buddha nature? Facts. Somebody, or is it Mothra? Mothra come back and commented on one of my videos and brought up one of the Buddhists, what's her name? They said the student asked the teacher, hey teacher, do I have Buddha consciousness? The teacher told him, no. He was like, what? Hold up. I thought everything has Buddha consciousness. The rocks, the dogs, the cats, the piles of shit. Thought everything has Buddha consciousness. He said, yes, all those things do have Buddha consciousness. And then the student said, but I don't. No, because you asked the question, do I have it? You don't have it. You don't have it. What's in? Exactly. People tell me about how they met gods and stuff. I know what elementals are. Facts. I know what elementals are. It's all the play of the three gunas and the elementals, man. And if you understand that that's the mind, that's why I keep saying, if you understand the mind, you're going to understand all of this shit. All of this shit will dissolve before you, the self, pure consciousness, pure awareness. This shit is going to dissolve before you. You're not going to be, oh, this system is superior to this one, or, oh, that God is not this guy. What the fuck ever. Any of that type of shit. Because you're going to know the elements. You're going to know those 5 elements and those 3 gunas. That's the play. They make up the play. They make up the play. Did you see Buddha back here? Buddha use a PT say Buddha is past his bedtime. Come on, huh? Trav said, that's why I can sip coffee with Christ and not feel guilty of fear of hell. What'd you say, Trav? They don't understand the things you say on Twitter. Y'all know I be fucking up my words and shit. And I get that. When Trav posted that I understood. Because, motherfuckers see that shit. He's supposed to be in the cultist. What is he doing with white Jesus? You niggas have no fucking clue of what this game or what this dream is here, man. You're so butthurt. You're so Diddy hurt. You're so baby oiled up by Diddy juice. It's hurting your feelings. The same thing with the white guy who just got killed. The same shit. Everybody's so butthurt about it. And I'm speaking of a particular community, the black community. Like, people is mad. Like, how you in there? And then he this and then. You motherfuckers have. And I'm saying that because, now, regular, normal, average people, I get it. But there are people like, oh, spiritual this and spiritual that, and this is just an illusion, and time is an illusion. You running that shit, but you're not getting that shit for real. Cause how was this shit really emotionally got you? Now you posting all the video clips of him so-called talking about black women and black men and straight people and gay people and transgender people. You trying to run a narrative, helping run, like, the fuck are you doing? Fuck are you really doing? I like to watch and observe the shit. And then I went to go investigate, and he's saying a lot of shit that profound black teachers have said. I'm like, And then you'll see the same people comment, well, that's the only thing that I agree with him on. But he's still a racist bigot. I'm like, why does that even fucking matter? Super high dark priestess. Why does that matter to you, super high priest? Fucking magician. Why does that fucking matter to you? Brahma, yes. 5 elements, yes. You? There is no you. I like that, Mafra. Oh, I got you, Sunshine Chick. This is the new book. This is the one, y'all. Like I said, the book we reading now is very much so to give you a philosophical and an intellectual breakdown of understanding of Advaita, of non-duality. Alright? From a Vedantic perspective. This is what this is for. I mean, that's what the book is for we read right now. But this one right here, this right here is my pretty boy swag. Hey, non-dual swag. Hey, non-dual swag. Non-dual swag. It's that non-dual swag. Whoop-de-doo. So screenshot that, y'all. Find it on Amazon or eBay. I got an eBay store. Find my eBay store. I should have it on my eBay store. Did it hurt? Yeah. And Yaku, facts. Let's see. I see monks as Buddha, and we're like not monks. Now we're big boys and girls living the stories he was telling us to be careful about. Okay. Facts. This is the man that left his arm up forever. That poor thing should never have done that. I feel so sad he did that. Dang. I ain't heard that in years. This right here is my swag. Non-dual swag. Hey, non-dual swag. Non-dual swag. He don't bullshit. Let's see. See if I can find something he just said real quick. Okay, let's read something from this book. Even though we ain't even finished the book, I just love this shit, y'all. Let's do it. Let's read something from this book. All right? Page 24. He says, there is no goal. No, the questioner says, how is one to reach this state? He said, there is no goal to be reached. There is nothing to be attained. You are the self. You exist always. Nothing more can be predicated of the self than that it exists. Nothing more can be predicated of the self other than that it exists. Seeing God or the self is only being the self or yourself. Seeing is being. You being the self want to know how to attain the self. You being the self want to know how to attain the self. What sense does that make, right? It is something like a man being at the Ramana ashram asking how many ways are there to reach Ramana ashram, and which way is the best way for him. So it's like being at the stove already, right? It's like you trying to figure out how to attain knowledge of self and the self and reach that highest state. This highest spiritual state is like being directly in front of the 7-Eleven, walking into the 7-Eleven, asking the cashier, hey, how do I get to the 7-Eleven? And could you give me multiple avenues of how I can reach this exact 7-Eleven that I'm already at? All that is required is of you to give up the thought that you are this body, and to give up all thoughts of the external things or the not self. That's the type of shit we getting into. Alright? That's the type of shit we getting into. So what we can do right here, y'all, is finish it off with verse 28, and this will conclude Occult Sunday, or Knowledge of Self Sundays, or non-dual swag. Hey! Hold up. Man. Why? So let's get to it. 28, verse 28. Alright? May this nectar of non-dualism, composed by the poet Lakshmi Dara of autumnal lotus like verses, be enjoyed by bee like sages, like zzz, those type of bees. In the Hindu tradition, poetic words written by both Sanskrit and in the regional language often end by a dedication in which the author names himself. The author is blessed by such service to the sages, and so he offers his work for their enjoyment. And we offer our humble salutation to the great author for the wonderful wisdom his verses have conveyed upon us. Om Tat Sat Om. And that is the end, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. Now, I would like for you all to tell me, how have y'all enjoyed this? As far as non-dualism and as far as this book, how's this doing for y'all? Hold up. How y'all feeling about this? Om Tat Sat Om. We have concluded this 28 verse book. Introduction, I say, is a good introduction to non-dualism. Great introduction. Fucking fire introduction. Just something else that y'all may want to get. Oh, my boulder. Uh-oh. That's a good one. I found that via Trav. Snooping around Trav's video when I first started tapping into Trav shit. But this is the next one, y'all. I love this shit. Can't get enough. Okay, bet. Trav said, I don't understand, brother. How can you have Buddha, a golden Buddha glistening with them VVS's right next to motherfucking... What's the difference, y'all? Somebody tell me the difference between them two. Is there a difference? This basically represents everything that Buddha represents. There's literally no fucking... Look at the top of the head. What the fuck, y'all? There's no difference. There's no fucking difference. This is why I keep them two sitting right there in the back. There's no difference. Are you me? Are you me? No, motherfucker, you me. Motherfucker, you me. We bow to each other because it's the same. We're the self. We bow at each other. Namaste, niggas. Baphomet, Buddha. Baphomet, Buddha. And look, I sit right in the middle. We the same. We don't look the same, but we the same. That's the illusion of, look under my hat, individuality. That's the illusion of individuality. This right here is my non-dual swag. Hey, non-dual swag. Hey, non-dual swag. Gang. And if you were wondering, yes, Buddha and Baphomet both like motherfucking chicken gizzards, nigga. Fuck wrong with y'all. Yeah, that out my Buddha motherfucker is fire, right? Thanks, got it. Okay, Sunshine Chick, bet. To see objectively what we are subjected to. Facts. Travis said, satanic. I know, man. SpongeBob SquarePants. Mirror image. Love it for this. Well, actually, Baphomet means this, and Buddha means that, and blah, 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 blah. Fact. Like, well, actually, man, because listen, bro, it was a guy on Threads, right, commenting up under my post, right, and I said something. I'm like, okay, the OG Bobby Hemmett told us, right? The OG Bobby Hemmett told us they're going to always do some type of ritual during the equinoxes and the solstices, right? And I said, yeah, that's true. But Bobby also told us, hey, guess what? Any ritual, the ultimate protection from the ultimate spiritual protection is pure of heart. Having a pure heart, right? So, and I left it open for interpretation and for those who may not or may have. Whatever. Didn't really care because I was driving while I tweeted it. So, I put that and the guy comments says, what it mean then? So, this is the thing about it. When you understand the mind, you can peep somebody's ego from a mile of fucking way. From a mile of fucking way. He wasn't coming in a manner of like, damn, okay, I don't know what Bobby Hemmett meant by that. What he mean? Or he could have been like, yeah, right, he meant so-and-so, so-and-so. But the nigga came with an ego-filled, entitled way of coming towards a motherfucker. Like, what it mean then? So I hit his ass with the, oh yeah, basically Bobby Hemmett said, you know what I'm saying, if you eat chicken gizzards, you can hit the 10th dimension and you ain't got no worries to worry about. He ain't like that. He like, see that what I'm saying? You niggas always trying to sound deep for these hoes. Nigga trying to sound deep for these hoes. First of all, if I wanted to go, nigga, first of all, I'm madly in love. I don't got no hoes. Nor do I want any. Nigga. If you really want to know, but I ain't even go that far. I ain't even take it there with him. So, after he said that, I hit him back with the Cartman from South Park. I hit him back with the Cartman. What's that shit called? Where he was like, oops, caught me. Oops, busted. Like, he was like, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, bro. He was like, that's what I thought. I knew you ain't knew what it meant. Like, it's one thing to come asking a question like, hey, you ain't got no problem breaking it down. And then it's another to also understand that, like, who the fuck finna explain all that in a fucking tweet or a thread? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck finna do all of that? You motherfuckers' egos is fucked up. They egos fucked up. Lame, man, nigga. Whoop-de-doo. Eat chicken gizzards, nigga. You go into the 10th. And guess what? He was a vegan. And I ain't even gonna get to describing him, but he's a vegan. And he teaches people how to eat vegan right. Or so-called alkaline. He teaches people how to eat alkaline. Like, nigga, if I want to understand how to eat alkaline, I'm coming to you. I don't even give a fuck if you put that fucked up or whatever you tried to expose me or whatever you tried to do under my what's the name. I'm coming to you because I know you know what you're talking about. This over here ain't got nothing to do with that. What we talking about ain't got nothing to do with that. Your expertise is in motherfucking alkaline diet, nigga. Whoop-de-doo. Let's see. I find it interesting how the cosmic flow is wave. My father left me consciousness and the absolute. And the experience of damn, for real? Damn. So your father left you the book, consciousness and the absolute, and the experience of nothingness. Experience of nothingness. And consciousness and the absolute. These two. See, I ain't gonna lie. My kids gonna have these. They may hate them. They may never pick these motherfuckers up. Guess what? They may fuck around and have some friends that run into it and see it, and boom, they get it. It may not even be for my kids. I can't be mad if my kids don't fuck around and be conscious and be on it. Or obviously we all consciousness, but I'll be on that level. This one right here. Woo-hoo-hoo. Prior to Consciousness. Man, all his goddamn books, man. How the fuck can't show one? All of these motherfuckers. This is what I really wanted to read with y'all, though. I really want to read this with y'all. I can't lie to you. I really want to read this one with y'all, bro. Like, it may be after this one. It may be, but you see how thick this motherfucker is, right? We're going to be reading this for months. We're going to be reading this for months. We may even have to do... I'm almost at that point where YouTube let me create like a membership. We may have to do it on that, what's the name? Because, hey, we may have to. I don't know. May not even read it. But that shit is so fucking fire. That shit is so motherfucking fire. Let's see. And Elisha said, I only recently picked them up. I'm telling you, bro, it's a funny thing how this shit. That's why I be saying, do you think you got free will? Do you think you got choice? This shit is always placed right there for you, bro. You think you doing something? This shit is not by chance. It's not because of the work you put in either. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, man, that's another topic though. Another topic. Let's see. That's what's up though, Elisha. No kidding. No use retracting the messages. It still shows up on the big screen. Yeah. That is facts. Hell yeah, I'll be there. Fact. Okay, Trey, I bet. That's a bet. We've been reading it for months. Digesting it for fucking years. Real shit. And you'll see in Maharaj other books, when he talking to people, Trav say definitely set up a membership. Okay, bet. That's what we'll do then. Trav said do it, we doing it. So I think I'm gonna wait like 45 more hours. So if y'all want to help me to get like 45 more hours to reach that YouTube goal, go watch some old videos and shit. Just let the motherfuckers play in the background. You know what I'm saying? Help me get to them 45 more hours, then we can set up a membership. Don't worry, it's gonna be affordable. It's gonna be affordable. It's gonna be fucking affordable. It's gonna be fucking affordable. But that way we have this closed-ended group of people who definitely taking this shit serious, right? Definitely taking this shit serious. Okay, say less, Coop. Say less, Coop. I already know motherfucker like Coop gonna join. Anyway. User PT said, I don't regret anything. I just talk a lot because I have to think of what I don't actually think. And then I had to think about what I do think. Bro, I'm telling y'all, that is motherfucking being, bro. Being be saying some shit. But, yeah, y'all. Yeah. And this book is, how many pages we got? Oh, guess what? It turned to. On this page. Hold up. Karma, Destiny, and Free Motherfucking Will. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Okay, bet. Bet, Trav. You're really right. I need to tap back in. It's coming that time. You're really right. I do need to tap back into the blue book. I need to tap back into that blue book. You're really fucking right. It's coming to that time. Okay. But yeah, y'all. And y'all know y'all want to chop it up. You know, we can do something. Anybody want to chop it up? Any questions? Anybody want to come on to the live stream? We got people here now. Anybody want to actually come on to the live stream? You can DM me or hop in the Discord and I can send you the link to come into the live stream and have a chat. Sunshine Chick, you know what the blue book is. Anybody wants to hop onto the live stream or have any questions that they want to put inside the chat. If not, we're going to end it. Shit, excuse me. Whoop-de-doo. Shit, it's all good, Trav. It's all good. Yeah, man, I gotta get Trav on the channel, y'all. I'm gonna have to set up something with Trav, bro. I had Trav on this motherfucker. I just want that shit to be documented on the so-called YouTube of my gnosis. Okay. Don't look like too much going on up in that motherfucker. Going on up in his chat. Trav got a consultation and nobody else trying to hop on. So what we gonna end up doing is we're gonna leave with the closing remarks. As we always say, no obstacle will apprehend you. Okay, hold up. Look, I'm talking about some. Okay, hold up. Coop got a question. Look what fucking Coop asked. I got a question. What flavor you vaping? Blue Raz Ice. Can't even see it. Blue Raz Ice. Coop. Blue Raz Ice. So remember this, y'all. No obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. Or prosperity over pain. Prosperity doesn't have to be motherfucking money. It can be realization of self. So those obstacles that you thought were obstacles are not obstacles. They are fucking opportunities. They are fucking opportunities for you to realize the self, to switch on observer mode, to observe your one-sided fucking opinions, to observe your thoughts, to observe your emotions, to observe those fucking concepts that you identify with, worldly or spiritually. You need to observe those. And remember, that's our standard operating procedure. Because we are standing on purpose. And with all of that, we are standing on motherfucking principles. Peace. What the fuck was that, Trav? What picture is that, Trav? Jack Peter? The fuck? Jake Peter? Fuck is Jake Peter, man? I don't even... That's some shit I don't know about, Trav. You gotta put me on the inside scoop. But remember though, y'all, stand on motherfucking principles. Much love, cause you are me. I can't do nothing but love me, goddamn. I can't love myself. You talking about my own no. Oh shit, bro. A white guy with a hat backwards cap, with a backwards hat cap. SOP, Sunshine Chick. SOP, everybody. Make sure y'all hit that motherfucking like button. And go watch some more videos so we can get up to them 45 hours that I need to start the membership. And we're going to get this shit